Hey folks, so for this video I want to discuss quickly yarn guide placement. Okay, so one of the issues that we run into with this product frequently is customers placing their yarn guide all the way out here, right? And that's so intuitive. I probably would do the same thing. You think to yourself, why place the yarn guide in here when I can place it out here and then I don't have to move it ever, right? And sometimes they'll just face the yarn guide away from where the ball is being formed. Going, then I never have to worry about this getting, there's a lot of counterintuitiveness to this, but unfortunately when you move the spot where the yarn is exiting the yarn guide away from where the ball is being formed, you increase the probability that the yarn is going to slip off. So with a smaller winder that only has a small ball capacity, it's not as much of an issue because the yarn only has to travel 2 inches. But with this one, you can increase that distance to 6 or 7 inches here and really increase the chance that your yarn is going to slip off, depending on a number of other factors. But we're just going to talk about this factor today. When you purchase this and set your yarn guide up, you want to have it at the innermost position with the yarn guide facing the dowel. You can even, more optimally, is just have it a little bit offset so it's kind of riding the side of the yarn guide. And what that does is that gives you a consistent exit point, okay? So your yarn is exiting this coil and hitting the ball that's being formed. You want that exit point to be as consistent as possible. So if you were to, maybe you were holding the yarn here and you were just moving it around, well, you would be changing the spot where the yarn was hitting the ball. So you'd be increasing the likelihood that that yarn would slip off the ball. So what you want to do is have as much consistency in your exit point and have as short of a distance as possible between where the yarn is exiting the coil and forming on the ball. So for most yarn balls, we found you probably will never need to move the yarn guide. But should you get to a place where the yarn ball looks like it's almost hitting the coil, you can just move it all the way back, okay? So I know, right? You're thinking, oh, I need to stop it along the way. No. So when it gets to the place where it's almost hitting this coil, you can just loosen the knob, slide it all the way back. A bigger ball of yarn has a lower probability that the yarn is going to slip off of it. Okay, so once you get to a place where it's almost hitting, you've got enough structure there that your yarn is probably not going to fall off. It's really just early, and that's why you need this yarn guide to be placed at the innermost position. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wind just an average, not even a very big ball of yarn in this thing, and kind of show you how it works. So that's a pretty decent sized ball of kind of mixed worsted weight yarn. And as you can see, it wasn't really even that close to hitting the yarn guide when it was on there. We probably could have wound maybe another half before it got close. And we didn't have to move the yarn guide. So as you can see, it's not something that you're gonna be constantly moving back and forth most likely. But just keep it as close to the dowel and with the coil facing towards the dowel, and you'll be fine. Thank you.